Happy Halloween! Forget your skeletons. Forget your candy. We got some cookies to click. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you there. Nice to meet you. I'm Benji. This is my crib. And this is my progress on Cookie Clicker. I haven't slept in weeks. Cookie Clicker. Do you remember that fun little game back in 2013 kids all used to play in school because it was one of the only things the proxy would let us all play? Can't even log in to play Fun Brain Math Arcade to learn numbers. What is this shit? I personally was starting my freshman year of college at the time. Had that proxyless college Wi-Fi. High-speed internet, only occasionally throttled by the campus-hosted LAN parties, or my neighbor Bitcoin mining. I didn't even find out about this game until I went back to my old high school to visit one of my teachers. I hung out in one of their study halls, and that's when I saw one of my friends at the time hanging out in there, furiously clicking away at the mouse trying to get their first antimatter condenser. I didn't know what that meant, but it intrigued me. What if I were to tell you that that old game from 2013 has made a furious comeback with a vengeance, taking up all my energy, time, and social life. Not that I had that much of one to begin with, but now this guy is my best friend. So you're probably asking, how and why has this game made a comeback despite being forgotten for so many years? I could probably ask myself the same question every time RuneScape drags me back in when I hear the Sea Shanty 2 music on my YouTube recommended. It's a bop. Maybe that's how I can increase my cookies per second. That's some five-brain thinking right there. So, does Cookie Clicker still hold up today? Is it still as fun as it used to be many years ago? I'd suffice to say it, my lack of energy, my lack of friends, and my lack of sleep will explain that. Let's start things off by taking a look at what Cookie Clicker is, in case you didn't know. No, not that one. No, still not it. Hey, now that's postmodern. Cookie Clicker was not the first incremental game of its time. No, far from it. The genre can be dated back to something called Progress Quest back in 2002. It's a self-playing RPG where the player has absolutely no control. A true idle game. This is it. This is the whole game. Yep, that's it. That's the whole game. It wasn't until a decade later that a little title called Candy Box came out in April 2013. Candy Box was a game where you can go on epic quests. Adventure awaits! Huzzah! Buy lollipops and yeet candies onto the floor. Supposedly, the developer of Cookie Clicker, Julian, oh, please forgive me if I butcher this, Theonot, went on to make their hit browser-based addiction as a parody to this game, and we skip ahead to August 8th, 2013 for the first ever released version of Cookie Clicker, nearly 8 years ago from when this video was released. Now first of all, graphics, downright best in the game, AAA quality. The cookie has some acne going on, but nothing a little proactive can't fix, and the grandma, absolute nice lady, no complaints. There's a distinct lack of buildings, only 8 buildings you can purchase to start off with, whereas in later versions it is 18. There's no upgrades, it's very bare bones. However, this version wouldn't last for long. Only a few weeks later, August 24th, 2013, there would be a huge graphical overhaul and introduction of upgrades. Now this is the Cookie Clicker I remember. So sleek, so shiny, so grandma-y. What you're looking at is version 1.037 of the game, which dropped September 28th, 2013, nearly a month and a half after its initial launch. Now between the initial release and this version, a lot has changed. Graphics, probably a bit of a downgrade. I don't know, I still prefer that AAA graphics of the first version, but that's just me. Just kidding, this is so much better, and the grandmas look infinitely less creepy. And guess what? Animations! The cookie's more clickier than ever! Saving works a lot better. Golden cookies are introduced, which is like one of the only viable ways of progression when you get to the late game. Upgrades were added. You can finally sell your buildings. Bye, Grandma.
I can't believe you've done
Mulk. And, most importantly...
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Oh, and achievements. Did I mention there are achievements that got added? All of this and more comes together to form the perfect little time killer of a game. But what if those achievements were saved to the cloud and cemented into history as something you could look back on, brag to your friends about, and equally be given an intervention from them for having 861 total hours played on record? Enter the Steam version. That's right, Cookie Clicker came to Steam, along with all 532 achievements that you too can keep your computer running all night in order to collect. Disclaimer: the content of this video is for informational purposes only. Venji is not responsible for your computer's health and well-being if you decide to do this. Furthermore, if you play this game, you are fully responsible for any repercussions resulting from extended play, including but not limited to lost time, friends reaching out with concern, skipping out on day-to-day obligations to click cookies, and growing an insatiable craving for chocolate chips, to name a few. It released on September 1st, 2021, garnering overwhelming positivity on Steam for its return. Most of the negative reviews come from those that regret getting addicted again. Lost time, friends reaching out with concern, skipping out on day-to-day obligations to click cookies. Not a day goes by where I don't have at least one Steam friend playing. So how did this game come back to the limelight so quickly? Why are people playing it again if it's simply just a port and not a remake? It's actually a really easy question to answer from both personal experience and reading through Steam reviews. Jokingly, I mentioned RuneScape at the beginning of this video, that all it takes is a single song to make me want to go back and buy a membership again. I mean, listen to this song. What does that make you feel? For me, it brings me back to the days before I had to worry about taxes and working a 9-to-5 job. It reminds me of nights I'd get out of school, log in, struggle to figure out a quest, then ask friends at the lunch table the next day how to do that quest. Cookie Clicker, like I said, was one of those games I distinctly remember people raving about when I went to go visit my old high school, and I remember some of my neighbors in my freshman dorm playing, but not to the level that I saw when I went to go visit my old school. It was one of the only games that you could bypass the proxy in order to play, and because of that, combined with how addictive the game was, when the game came back to light nearly a decade after launch, there's a sweeping nostalgia factor no one is able to argue. Seeing that cookie in the left panel bob in and out with each click activates dopamine receptors in the brain, much like how slot machines lure you in with that one last spin, followed by another last spin, and another. You buy a building, get more cookies. You activate a golden cookie, you get even more cookies. You activate the Graham Apocalypse, you also get more cookies. Every last thing you do in this game gives you a reward. Sometimes there are negative effects and loss, but almost instantaneously you're rewarded again, like a nice little pat on the back. And the best part? There aren't any microtransactions like the future of idle games soon showed us. Your achievements in the game are yours alone and through hard work. I said hard work! Speaking of achievements, these also add to your total CPS, cookies per second, in the form of milk. I've clocked hundreds of hours on the Steam version and I'm still lagging behind on completing all of them. With all of those achievements that you need to complete and bragging rights reserved, only one question remains. Is it still as fun as it used to be? Well, let's ask the Steam community.
Quit my job at keyboard to play this shit.
I clicked the button. I received dopamine. My neurons were activated. I clicked the button. I received dopamine. My neurons...
Cookie. I click the cookie, it make number go up. I buy things that make number go up faster. Brain make happy juice smiley face.
Broke my mouse.
The great thing about Cookie Clicker is that there are a number of ways you can play through the game and still work your way up the ladder. First of all, since this is an idle game, you could play it completely AFK. You could trigger the Graham Apocalypse and rely on your Wrinklers. You could use AFK boosts like the Golden Switch and the Shimmering Veil. You could use the Stock Marketeer advantage, buy 500 shares in EggStop one day, have it instantly skyrocket the next, then tank before you forget to sell it off. Stock's not up your alley? You can embrace your inner Minecraft in Stardew Valley and start a farm. And I guess you can create your own cookie religion too, embrace the spirits of the cookie gods, and get idle buffs. Or you could play more actively, which in my opinion gives you more net gains. Remember how I mentioned golden cookies are one of the few ways you can make progress in the late game? Well, with golden cookies you can trigger click frenzies, elder frenzies, dragon flights, all of which grant you at the minimum 666 times your current cookies per second. You can even get more golden cookies using the Force the Hand of Fate in the Grimoire, and you can extend those golden cookie timers using stretch time in the Grimoire as well. You can switch seasons, which will allow you to collect more cookie per second buffs. Each season, except for Business Day, has a certain amount of buffs you can collect, just by clicking golden cookies and just doing your normal business. You can also get reindeer cookies in Christmas, which give you a boatload of cookies, and Business Day will allow you to get more golden cookies per minute. Like, just by doing your normal thing, it just increased the ratio. You can change your Pantheon to use active buffs. For example, I use the Godzimok buff, which is absolutely godly unpowerful. You sell a few things during a click frenzy and you're rich. That's all I'm going to say. We'll get to that later though. And you can just go through and just use all your Grimoire spells however you see fit. However your playstyle is, you can do it. Then there are some of the more nuanced strategies that I've learned from playing myself, such as focusing solely on the Milk Pantheon, Mocalcium, setting your dragon to Reality Bending and Radiant Appetite. Then once you get a golden cookie that activates a buff, use Force the Hand of Fate to make another golden cookie appear. Hopefully it'll be a click frenzy. Then you can get a massive buff of maybe 7,000 times your normal clicks. And then there's some strategies I've learned from some friends, like Lucid Strategy, where if you set your Diamond Pantheon to Godsmock, set your dragon to Radiant Appetite and Dragonflight, then once you trigger a click frenzy or a Dragonflight, sell all of your farms, your grandmas, immediately buy back, then just click as fast as you can. Repeat until the frenzy's over, and you will get ungodly rich. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I've made so much progress using this. It's incredible. Now these are just a few examples of strategies for playing the game, but you can play the game any way you want it, and with all these ways to play the game, the dopamine rush alone that you get from clicking button and getting a reward, the newly added Steam achievement system to let your achievements shine forever, adding even a friendly layer of competition between friends. And with us living in an era where Discord is a thing, where people can actively share their accomplishments through text channels or live streaming it in a voice channel so that everyone can know how good you are outside of school hours, I think that Cookie Clicker is thriving more than ever before. If Cookie Clicker originally released today, I don't think it would have garnered even an ounce of support, but because it was a game so ingrained in our childhoods and goes against the microtransaction grain most clicker games suffer from today, it's such a breath of both fresh air and nostalgia combined, and I don't feel ashamed my total hours played for a single second. Thank you for bringing this back to us, especially in a time we're still kind of stuck inside. And thank you so much for watching. I know it took a long time to finally get something up on this channel, and I appreciate everyone's patience. I hope to be pushing more content and getting on a semi-consistent upload schedule soon outside of all the memes I've been pushing on the channel. If I'm not uploading stuff here, chances are I'm live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/itsvenji. I stream a variety of content and I'm always welcoming new faces, so be sure to drop by. I also have a VTuber model I sometimes will whip out. You just don't know when. You can also follow my Discord for updates on when I'm live, when I post stuff, and we have community nights going on at least once a week. It's a lot of fun. Twitter is also a pretty good resource for reaching out to. I hope you have a wonderful day, Hoot Troop, and I'll see you later. Peace out.